This is often where we meet, right here in the auditorium for our 8th grade students and families night. And I'm really sad that you can't be here with us. We're so grateful that, for example, we have the set of Urinetown here where our kids did a great job, where our kids are still finding ways to do wonderful things despite the challenges in front of us. But sadly, for 8th grade students and families night, we can't be together. But still, in the 27 years I've been fortunate to serve here, 8th grade students and families nights are among my favorite each year. Normally there's this nervous energy, an eager and anxious anticipation of what our daughters and sons will experience in their high school careers. Some of you are old hands. You have had older children already pass through these doors, and you know our ways and our really quirky and intense culture. But for others of you, this is all terra incognita, a new world to be explored with excitement and with it just a hint of trepidation. We get that. We definitely understand. You are putting a tremendous amount of trust in us, and we value and respect that trust every single day, and we will never betray it. That trust is essential when our world is normal. It is even more valuable in these very unsteady times. And in all the years that I and so many of our colleagues have been here, we have never been more excited for an 8th grade students and families night than we are right now. Without question, this year has been difficult for everyone. Our Welcome Center is usually filled with the voices of hundreds of young women and men. For months, though, it's been quiet. Students and families here have lost grandparents and friends. Students have been shut in for months, unable to engage with one another and with our athletics and activities in the ways that we all have wanted. Students and teachers have put their all into making online schooling the best it could be, all while fully recognizing that it cannot replace the full human interactions and relationships that can grow when we are working with one another shoulder to shoulder. And that is why we are so excited. Next fall gives us hope that as vaccines are distributed to everyone who engages in our commitment to one another, and as we as a community and country become healthier and stronger again, we can begin to be fully together, doing the work that teachers and students here love, connecting with one another in healthy and strong ways to help them make the personal and academic growth we all want, and that students have enjoyed here for nearly 100 years. Exceeding here on the auditorium stage and the athletic field, building confidence in the classroom and their relationships as they walk down our halls. And all of that, well, that is what tonight and the conversations in the weeks ahead are all about. 8th grade students and families night is the start of a conversation, a time for you as students and family members to start to get a sense of all the opportunities available to you right here. We will walk you through your choices that you'll have for your required classes, from English to math, social studies to science. And we'll give you a sense of some of our elective offerings, where our kids can explore their interests and develop their passions. And we will also help you see how all of our kids can engage outside the classroom as well. As we hope we have made clear for decades now, if our kids come to Portage Central and are successful only in the classroom, they're missing at least half of what this place is all about. So what I'd like to do is walk you through an overview of the program for tonight.
You can see right here at the very introduction, you can see that's our administrative team. You'll see our names and our roles here, and you'll see our email addresses as well as phone numbers. Please feel free to contact us anytime by email or by phone, again, to support you in this transition to Portage Central High School. You'll also see our counselors and the students that they work with. You can see those letters are for their last names of our students, and you can see the counselor you'll be working with as well as the counselor's email address for questions. You can see the middle school parent-teacher conference dates are right on there. That's really important because their recommendations are really important for you to keep in mind as you're choosing your classes for your son or daughter for their freshman year here at Portage Central High School. And you can see that deadline that all middle school students will be turning in their course selections by Thursday, March 25th. You can see too, if you look on page 2, you'll see we'll have some question and answer sessions. Really, our goal is to give you this information on this program so that you can start to think it through, start to talk it through, visit with your son or daughter to get what kind of ideas and answers they're considering. And then we can see we'll have these follow-up sessions where Wednesday evening, February 17th at 6:30, if you click on that Google link, we'll be meeting there with you to answer any questions you have. And that will start at 6:30 and go till roughly 8 o'clock, but we will stay until your questions are answered. And then for those of you who would be better to meet in the morning, that works too. Thursday morning, February 18th at 7:30, we'll be meeting again for about an hour and a half, but again, we'll stay there as long as you have questions. And just click on that Google link and that will bring you to that parent informational session as well. Two, this opening video, that's what you're watching right now, and you can share that with other friends and family if you want to have any, if you have to get some feedback from them. And two, you'll see this 8th grade night slide presentation. That presentation is what you'll be seeing from each of our department chairs through the rest of this program. So feel free to click on that. It'll give you an overview of all the things that will be talked about in this program. Next, you'll see the required classes. These are classes that obviously all students need for graduation from Portage Central High School. And you'll see, you'll be meeting friends of mine, folks like Rachel Gabinski, who's our department chair in English. You'll get a chance to see a video of her talking through what those requirements are like. You'll get a chance to see a frequently asked question where that link will be right there to make sure that you get some questions answered. And if you don't have all the questions answered, again, you can come to one of our question and answer sessions on Wednesday the 17th or Thursday morning the 18th, or you can also just drop Rachel an email right with that email address right there. And you can see the other required classes we have. With Jim Schaefer, with our health class that's required. Math, you'll hear from Martha Keeler that we have a lot of math options, and it's really important to get feedback from your 8th grade teachers, specifically in math. You'll hear about physical education. All students graduate from Portage Central High School having taken 1.5 credits in PE. And you'll see some other things too. Science with John Taylor. He'll walk you through what science choices are for freshman year. You'll meet Mark Yeoman, who are our department chair for social studies. You get a chance to see his video talking through the requirements as well as the FAQ. And again, all those folks have an email address that you can reach out with more questions. And then finally, you'll hear from Bonnie Moss, who is our World Languages Department Chair. You'll get a chance to hear things about world languages for our students, again, as well as an FAQ and her email address. Finally, so some other things in the program tonight. The IB program is a really big and important part of Portage Central High School, so you can hear about that. Keeping in mind that the IB program is something for juniors and for seniors, but there are definitely classes that support our kids best in 9th and 10th grade. So you'll hear a little bit about that from Eric in his video and his frequently asked questions. You also hear if your son or daughter receives special education services. Brian Peck is a terrific guy in the department chair of special education. You can click on that video link and you'll hear more from him. And also you'll get a chance to hear from some folks who teach electives here. Again, these are not required classes, but these are classes where our kids can get their passions and their interests and understand some things that they may want to pursue just for fun or things they may want to pursue after they leave Portage Central High School. So you get to hear information about art from Joe King, band from Renee Flynn, from our business department, Greg Chambers, choir from Eli Snyder, and drama, and a number of other electives, including orchestra. So I just encourage you that for any of these classes that you're interested in, feel free to click on the video to hear more about it and email them with any other follow-up questions, because we are really grateful to have a number of different elective classes here. You'll notice too, Sarah Brown's making a presence. She's our school librarian and she is wonderful. She'll get a chance to walk you through the resources here. And you'll also hear from Nikki Smith and Joe Wallace. One of the things we frequently talk about here at Portage Central High School is that if you're only successful in the classroom, you're missing half, at least, of what Portage Central High School is all about. We want our kids engaged in the classroom and outside of it. And the way our kids get engaged outside the classroom are things like clubs and activities, things like the musical and the marching band. Nikki Smith is our activities director, and you'll hear from her with the video and her email address as well to hear about ways to engage our sons and daughters while they're here at Portage Central High School. Similarly, we have Joe Wallace, who is our athletics director. And he'll do the same thing, get a chance to walk you through what athletics looks like here to engage our sons and daughters, to keep them involved, meeting friends, and building a network of support here at Portage Central. So we so appreciate you being part of this whole conversation. We so appreciate you taking steps to look through this program. Keeping in mind, you don't have to do everything on this program, but we just want to give you everything you need so that you have your questions answered, so you can make the right choices, again, for all of our sons and daughters at Portage Central High School. Thank you so much for being here. We are really grateful, and we can't wait to meet you soon. Thanks so much.